All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another market and trade analysis and review. And the bulls did it. Would you look at that? Over 100-point move. Last night, the close right around here, 675. We opened at 750s. We were all the way up in 775 in pre-market, and then closed today at almost 790. Quite the move. We're almost at 800 after hours. It's wild. And everything went with it. All of tech, right? SPY, the Qs, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Netflix, Google, Square, had a massive gap up after, we'll talk about that. IWM, even names like PayPal, like the whole market literally was saved, propped up by this. It was wild. AMD, of course, launches, right? The daily on AMD is awesome. It was wild. The IV crush, the implied volatility crush, was absolutely crazy from this, right? So options, right, as they get closer to expiration, they become more volatile, obviously. Less volatile, actually. It takes a bigger move to move the option price, right, the premium cost. So because of the wide range that it dropped in pre-market or in after hours and then gained later, a lot of the volatility was gone. And so things that could have gone multiple hundreds of percents only went, a couple hundred maybe. But the SPY, the option percentages on SPY were absolutely crazy. And I can probably pull that over and show you if I expand this. It's not as much anymore because of the way the market closed, but well into the thousands. I saw a couple 2000s today at different times. Crazy stuff. Anyways, welcome in. Not our typical intro. There is a link in the description of each one of these videos for free stock. If you don't know, if you don't use Webull, go ahead and click on the link, sign up for free with Webull. You and I both get free shares. And that is a win-win for the both of us. So the question is, with all this, right, getting back into this, where do we go from here? What do we do now, right? It's no all-time highs for a lot of the big indexes. For SPY, the Qs were just shy of it. The question is, do we continue into tomorrow, right? Or do we sell off? So, NVDA continues from what it looks like. I mean, that's a great close. What a move. That's so dumb to look at. And has strength into after hours as well. Pre-market, how are we going to open up? I don't know. They're buying all the way in, right? People are buying here. There's no sell pressure at all. So that's what it's going to look like. So then there's, the question of like some of these other companies that are being propped up by it, right? SMCI, which came back up to 1,000 today. If we look at the daily chart, this is what it looked like, right? Does SMCI sell off tomorrow, right? Do names like AMD sell off tomorrow? I don't know. There's a lot of who knows, and you just kind of have to trade what is in front of you tomorrow, right? If you're trading options intraday like I do so often. Something that's interesting to note with all this is that while everything ran, you notice I skipped Tesla. Tesla was essentially unaffected by all this. I don't know what is going on with Tesla, right? And we are down here and we had this little bit of a inverse head and shoulders that broke out. Great, and we've come back down, and now we have a new support that we are testing at 194. It wicked off of that, closed with strength. We're at the EMAs. I'd love to see an EMA cross here and us go to the 212, 215, 220 range, right? Ideally, that's where I think Tesla could get in the next little bit here. Because tech going up or down, it seems to be pretty much unaffected by what tech is doing. Netflix, we need a flip here on the trend line. And Google, we're back in the pendant, right? This pendant just keeps getting tighter and tighter. And so we need a break above that as well. And Google, interestingly, while it opened big, got shorted to the ground at open. 46 to 44, not to the ground. I guess that's an exaggeration, but they did get a big drop while everything else was pumping. So that's interesting to watch. Notable earnings, right? We had Carvana, massive jump. And on the daily, Carvana has room to go. And this is interesting in here. Turn this on. Oh, there is nothing. And Carvana, right? With a tightening range maybe in here. That's pushing it. And this way as well. But then we're going to open up tomorrow. Way up here. Right? Like this. Then you go back to the daily and see where that puts us. Way up here. So we've got a lot to work with on Carvana in the weekly, right? That's big for sure. On the daily, we're coming up well above the EMA crosses now, and now we need to break this tightening range. So that's on Carvana, right? What is this music switch? There we go. Anyways, so that's where Carvana is. Also, notable earnings was Carvana, and Square was the other one. And Square, this one is an even better tightening range on the weekly, right? And so we've been going up and down, and we're putting in lower lows and lower highs, right? And this may be the flip to the cycle, and we're breaking the pattern here. If we go to the daily, right, and zoom out a little bit, this is what it's been, right? Lower lows. And we tried here to put in a higher low, but then we got a lower high in here in this range, and so it's just tightening range. We broke down below all the way down to 38 on Square. And then we have earnings today. And we're trading at 76, way back up in here. So we're going to gap up from this tightening range, right, where nothing moved. And we stay above the 200 EMA with strength, which I like. So Square could be going long here and has huge potential, right? The COVID run up. There's a lot of people that will be underwater big time if this decides it really wants to go and gets back above 90. Then you really start to see some movement. Taking a look at Robinhood, right, which we've been talking about. We're holding here on the daily for Robinhood. Starting to flag, which I like. Looks good to me. I really think that this could be an interesting one if you get the retail army behind it, which obviously you should never hope on something, but just as far as the numbers are concerned, a lot of people are going to get underwater here, a lot of shorts, and it's been pushed down and suppressed for a long time. The chart looks good. There's no denying it. Right? And we're putting in higher lows, and now we need a higher high confirmation as far as the weekly is concerned, right? We're coming back up, and we wicked perfectly off of this support that was the highs the last couple times that we came up and tried to break above this range of $14, $15. Really, before we see anything, we need to get above 1645. That's about the high of this 16. What's the high on that? 1649. Yeah. So that is what that is there. So tomorrow it's a bit of a, not a gamble, but it's going to be interesting, right? What do we do? How do you beat this weekly winning streak that the SPY has put in? All right, this is quite the bull run. I've seen a lot of charts comparing things to, the .com bubble in the 2000s and how Cisco looked and how NVIDIA compares to Cisco when Cisco was running up massively and then broke down. And I mean, there's a lot of similarities, but I don't know if it's the same. NVIDIA's books, right, their accounting, you go look at the report, the earnings report, it's just too good. So Bitcoin starting to get a descending wedge or descending channel here on the daily, which is beautiful. Looking for a break up. We traded some MicroStrategy today, risking the open down here, open range, which was the top of the high yesterday, and looking for an SR flip, and we got that today. It was a good trade. And that one is there. Anyways, that it's kind of, it's this weird, it's this euphoria almost. Tons of people made tons of money and lost tons of money today. And it was really interesting to watch, fun to watch Twitter, fun to listen to people freaking out about it. I had to work, obviously I work every day, but the nature of my work today didn't let me be as involved with it as I would have liked to have been. But I watched from the sidelines, and it was a good time. So tomorrow we'll see if it continues. I mean, we never want the bull run to end, but I would love for a bubble to pop. I don't think AI is a bubble, not with the demand that NVIDIA is talking about and the new chips and stuff. Obviously there's going to be, those who don't make it and fall off. So goes the .com bubble, right? But I would love for a rug pull to happen. Get me down to this range, just to the 470s. That's fine. It'd be so fun. So fun. $30 drop. Woo. Party on, dude. We're down to here. 450s. Holy cow, that'd be so fun. Just chaos ensuing, everybody freaking out, thinking that we're gonna just end and drop and we'd catch, and yeah. Anyways, appreciate y'all tuning in, appreciate y'all watching. Tomorrow's Friday. Enjoy it. Remember, if your goals and dreams don't scare you, probably not big enough. See you guys tomorrow.